This is Orange Nation Overtime with Steve Infanti and Paulie Sibilia.
Welcome into Orange Nation Overtime, everyone. I'm Steve Infanti alongside Paulie Sibilia. We just wrapped up our 2-hour radio show.
Award-winning.
Here on ESPN Radio Syracuse. You can also watch us on QSportsTalk.com. We led the show today, Paulie, talking about the SU men's basketball team. It's only 2 games in, right? It's Binghamton, it's Delaware State. They've looked impressive to this point. Have these 2 wins changed your opinion at all about how good this team could be and maybe what the plateau of this team is?
I think it's changed a little, but I'm not ready to jump yet. We discussed whether Kyan Anthony's above what, we thought he was going to be. It's 2 games. It's hard to make a decision now, but I would say this team is going to win a lot of games this year.
I agree with you.
Are they going to be the big ones? I don't know. But they're going to win a lot of games this year.
Yeah, and you figure the ACC will get, again, it's way too early to determine how many they're going to get in, but recent history tells us the ACC is going to get 4, 5, maybe 6 teams in the tournament. Can Syracuse be in that top 6? That's the question. We looked at the KenPom rankings. KenPom's got them 9th right now in the conference, literally 1 spot behind Miami on the national landscape. And so we'll see. We'll see how this thing plays out. And, of course, Vegas is going to have is going to be a big factor in determining where this team is heading into conference play. But right now they're 9th in the ACC, according to KenPom. The metrics are good after these blowout wins. They've got another one coming up here against Drexel on Saturday down in Philadelphia, which should be a test. You talked about Kyan. Which player on this team has impressed you the most or maybe surprised you the most through 2 games?
This is going to shock you, I think, Donnie Freeman. I think he has taken a leadership role I wasn't expecting, and he hasn't got any rust coming off an injury. It's been great.
He has been great. I was expecting big things out of him. I did put him on my All-ACC second team. I'm with you on that. I think Donnie's been very impressive. I think I'm going to go with William Kyle because, we were kind of sold on William Kyle that he was a really good defensive player, right? Before he went to UCLA, he was, Defensive Player of the Year in the conference that he was in. And he's come in. He's more than just a shot blocker, though. Yes, he had 6 blocks against Delaware State, but he finishes well around the basket. He's great in the pick and roll game. He's got good hands. He's athletic. He can get up and down the court. I think he is a better player than maybe we were sold on when he first transferred.
I think there was a misconception by people because he didn't play at UCLA. Yeah. There was an injury that caused him to lose his spot in the rotation, and he's very good. Yeah,
he's surprised me the most. But there's a lot to like about this team. So on the show today, we had our producer Tim Leonard in, and we had some fun with a game that we never really settled on a name.
I think we're using the term fun loosely there, but okay.
No, it was fun. We called it Pick a Percent, and basically, Tim offered us some questions. We responded with the percent chance that something happens. Check it out. We talked football. We talked basketball, starting off with some hoops. So explain this to us, Tim. What are we going to be doing today?
Yeah, we did this once before. We're calling it Pick a Percent. We basically have to answer some tough big picture questions around Syracuse athletics, Syracuse basketball, Syracuse football right now. So remember last time we did this, it was kind of like, what's the chances Fran Brown is coming back? What's the chances that Luke Carney is going to start a game this year? I think we did it leading into the Pittsburgh game last time, and we were all sort of in agreement that we don't see Luke Carney starting unless there's an injury. We'll maybe get to another Luke Carney themed starting question and see if we'll reevaluate our answer. But let's start with basketball. We all answered this question the first time, and I was at 51%, or I think I was at 50 or 51. I think we were right around 50-50 on this. What is the percent chance that Syracuse basketball makes the NCAA tournament? Has your opinion changed after 2 games?
Not greatly.
So I don't think it could be above 50% because, as we've said, they haven't made it in 5 years. And again, where they're projected to finish, depends on what poll you look at. Preseason number 11, they're up to 9 right now in KenPom.
In the ACC, yeah.
In the ACC. Only 5 or 6 teams are probably going to make it out of the conference. I think they've got a shot, and I think they might have a pretty good shot, but I don't know that you can put that number above 50-50. So just given the previous track record. So I'll say 45%, but I think it's kind of trending in the right direction for me.
I'm going to go 53.
Weren't you 51% last time? Does that sound right?
Yeah.
I think I was 40 last time that we did this.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I'm going 45.
Well, we had a big debate on was it what Steve thinks versus what the odds are,
Yes,
remember?
right,
So,
yes,
yeah,
right.
you're still fighting that.
I am fighting that because I think that this team is good enough to go to the NCAA tournament, but I think the odds would suggest that it can't be 50-50 right now.
The schedule does not help.
No.
Yeah, I would agree on the schedule point. I think I said 51%. I would stay right at 51%. I think it is pretty much a toss-up right now, and I don't love how the schedule was laid out for them. I do think they've got to obviously win a game in Vegas, and we'll get into that. The other thing is I think it's very reliant on the ACC being better, and they play pretty much all the teams that we think are good in the ACC on the road. So that's good and bad, but I think it's tough to actually get some quad one wins given their schedule.
Agreed.
Yeah. All right. What about Kyan Anthony? I guess has our opinion changed on him? We're going to start with percentage chance that Kyan Anthony starts a game in place of a healthy J.J. Starling or Nate Kings this year.
If I could take these separately, I would say there's very little chance he's going to start in place of a healthy J.J. Starling. I think that is very close to zero.
I would agree.
I think there is a world in which he could potentially replace Nate Kings, but I don't think it's anytime soon. You know, Kings hasn't shot the ball great. It's only 2 games. I think he's going to be fine. I don't think there's a strong chance of this either, especially if they're playing well. So, like, if you think this is a tournament team, Red's not going to shake up the starting lineup if things are going well. So I think this would have to be things are going poorly, Nate Kings is playing poorly, and Kyan continues to play well. That's a lot of ifs. I'll say I'll put it at 10%, but I feel like even that might be a lot.
Yeah, 15% came to mind for me, and I think it would all be on Nate Kings. But I do think Nate Kings, we're overreacting. I think he's going to start to hit shots, and he's definitely a starter.
I think 5%.
Yeah. We're all in the same ballpark here.
Kyan's could have a great year, and he's just going to, he'll win the 6th man if he's that good. You know? It's just, I think everybody knows the role right now, and there isn't any turmoil. And I don't think fans need to dust it up either.
He could be kind of the perfect 6th man, too. Come in off the bench and give you some scoring. Instant offense.
For JJ or Kings. Because you want him to start over.
Right. And that's, if he earns more minutes, that's a way to get him more minutes, is that you don't just slot him into one position. He could play the 2 and the 3, and that can give him some more minutes.
Percentage chance Kyan Anthony averages 10 or more points per game at the end of the season.
I've definitely changed my opinion on this. I wasn't ready to go there until we started seeing regular season games, and now, he's averaging 17 a game through 2 games. I realize it's a small sample size, but he's already off to a really good start. I think we're seeing that he can score at this level. 10 points a game. I think there's a better than 50% chance now that that's happening. So I'll put that at 55%. Which I would not have said
That's
2 weeks ago.
What I was going to say, also 55%.
Match game.
Wow.
Combining 2 of our games here. Match game. Tim, what do you got?
Well, I have to say 55% now. Yeah. No. Yeah, I was thinking 50 or 55, so I'm with you guys on that. Percentage chance Kyan Anthony goes one and done. This is a tough one.
I was not expecting that question.
All right, if he is 10 enough, Bronny got.
Well, that's the thing, yeah.
There with,
I would say 25%.
Yeah. It's hard. I don't know
20.
Kyan's thoughts on this, so it really just comes down to him personally. I don't necessarily think he's going to be on mock drafts unless he starts playing a good bit better than he had, and he's played really well, I guess.
Listen, if he averages 15 points a game and this team goes to the tournament and he's Carmelo's son, and I could see a world in which he would sneak into the that might be a first round talent. I think right now it's really early. Maybe like I said, 20% chance is what I'm going to settle on.
The reason I asked this, I don't know if you have a thought on it, Paulie, or a number you want to throw out. I'm kind of with Steve. Maybe 20%, I'd say.
I'm going to go even lower.
Yeah.
10.
The reason I asked this is because I do think, next question, percentage chance Sadiq White goes one and done. Kyan is kind of overshadowing Sadiq a little bit. We haven't talked a ton about his first couple games. And remember, he was all the rage out of the first or the second exhibition game, the first one he played in. I think Sadiq White's probably going one and done. I would put that at 60%.
Interesting.
Just because of his defensive switchability, he just looks like a guy that...
I think Sadiq White's going to have more impact on games than Kyan will than just scoring.
Interesting, and I'm not surprised that the percent chance is higher in your mind than Kyan. It would be for me as well. I think that's a significant jump, though, if you're going from 15 or 20 to 60 with Sadiq.
I think his skill set translates more to the likes of Houston, and his skill set translates more to the NBA.
Are you saying one and done where he's going to the NBA, or is it going to be here next year?
Oh, I meant NBA.
Okay.
But
yeah, I'll go. I'll go lower than. I'll go about 20%. He's a one and done. That's
for Sadiq.
Tough. Yeah,
I was going to say 33%. I'll go one third chance that he's a one.
Now,
and
if we're
done.
going he's somewhere else, that's a possibility.
Yeah, of course. Maybe I'm higher than I should be on him. I mean, he's not on any mock drafts that I've seen, but his ability to switch on to guards so far has been really impressive to me. Percentage chance Syracuse, let's say, wins a game in Vegas.
Ooh. Percent chance that
I'm going to go
a 1%
1 in
chance?
3. No, I'm going one of the three, or because it's.
He said wins a game.
Yeah, we could do both if you want. I was just kind of.
I'm going to go 50%.
50% they win a single game?
Yeah.
So they win only one a game? They win only one, or they win at least a game?
Yeah, at least a game.
They come out of Vegas with at least one win.
I'm going to put that at 50% because that last
I'm
game.
going higher.
You think they're going to win one?
Yeah. Well, I started to look. I will say, out of the opponents they could play, there's basically 13 schools because you're not going to play Houston or Kansas again. You're not going to play Tennessee because you're already playing them. You're not going to play Notre Dame because they're in your league, at least I would assume. There's only 2 teams right now in KenPom that are rated lower than Syracuse in a potential third game. That's Rutgers and UNLV. Oregon is 53 on KenPom, pretty close. Maryland is 52.
Oregon has not been impressive. I've seen them play a couple times. They have not been impressive. Anyway, I'm just throwing that out there.
Creighton's 45. I guess it's an interesting question. It's such an important game, that third game, and we don't know who they're going to play. I think it'd be nice if they drew like an Oregon or a Maryland. I think they could very well beat them.
I'll say this. Like, I'm looking at it like logically here. If we look at that third game as being a 50-50 game, because it probably will be, if it goes the way we think it's going to go, it's going to be 2 0-2 teams in Vegas playing. So that'll feel like a 50-50 game. And they have 2 other opportunities on top of that. So I think that odds have to be a little bit higher than 50-50. You got 3 stabs at getting 1 win, according to your question. So I'll go 60% on that. But I think that last game's probably going to be a toss-up.
I'll go 70%. I think because right now KenPom has the Houston game at 18%, Syracuse wins, Kansas game 33%. So chances of winning the first 2 games is what? I can't do that math. 40% maybe that they get one of the first 2, and then the last one.
You don't want UNLV, even though you'll probably win that game.
Well, remember we talked about maybe they would add UNLV to the schedule in place of that St. Joe's game, and they clearly
made the right decision.
So, yeah, you want someone good. You need a good win coming out of that. What about percentage chance Donnie Freeman makes an All-ACC team?
So I think it's high. I mean, I get a vote in the preseason poll, and I put him on the second team. And, we talked about this at the time, and I said, I was deciding between JJ and Donnie, and I think Donnie's the best player on this team. I think he looks like he's the best player on this team through 2 games. And, if Syracuse is in the mix for a tournament bid, Donnie's going to be a big piece of that. So I think there's a very strong chance of this. I'll say... So you're saying top 15? You're saying first, second, third? Like a top 15 player in the league?
That's how they do it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he was on my second team in the preseason. I think there is a very strong chance of that. I'll say 75%.
Steve, that's what I said. That's what I wrote down.
Whoa! We're on fire. We're not even trying to match it. We're matching.
I mean, 75%, of course.
Wow!
just to hear my voice.
I wrote it down, too, before you even said it. Here, let me do that again.
And, Paulie, one question that we did not get to during that segment that was on our list, percent chance that Syracuse finishes among the top 5 in the ACC during the regular season.
I'd put that at about 30%.
Okay.
You know, that's asking a lot. I think if they're going to make the tournament, you got to be in the top 7, and I think they can get there. Top 5, that's a heavy lift.
Yes, everybody seems to have the same top 5. I'm with you. It's got to be less than 50-50. I'd put it at 25-30%. I think you're right on the money there. We did talk football as well and worked our way through some questions that has to do with Fran Brown and the Orange. So here's Tim Leonard, again, back with us with the pick a percent on football.
Football pick a percent. Let's begin with Luke Carney. Chances he starts against Boston College in the final regular season game.
Are they going to let him throw a pass?
Probably not.
If he's not passing, I find it hard to believe that they're going to start him. It's not going to be Ricky Collins, in my opinion. I think they're going to go with either Filardi or Carney for that last one. I think some of this maybe does depend on if Filardi plays against Notre Dame. How does he look? Percent chance. I'll say there's a 40% chance it's Carney.
Oh, wow.
60% that it's Filardi.
I'll say 5.
You have it at 0% that we see Ricky Collins against BC.
Not that we see him, I don't think he's starting.
Or starting.
I think
Really?
You're not going to see him against BC.
I don't think
you're going to see.
I'm
talking Carney. I don't think you're going to see Carney against BC. If he's not coming back, there's no need to put him out there. Don't want him getting hurt, anything like that.
Why are you convinced he's not coming back?
Why would he come back? He's not getting on the field this year. And next year, Angeli's going to be there, and he's not getting on the field next year.
Yeah, I'm with Bolly. I'm not convinced of anything. We don't know. But reading the tea leaves, I don't think Luke Carney will be back. That'd be my guess. I just don't like that he said comments like, well, maybe they should give me more of an opportunity to throw, but I guess I got to prove myself. And the red shirt stuff, I think, is a little odd because Fran has said he just wants to win games, and the red shirt decision comes down to him. And I mean, I would assume they just had it in the plans to redshirt him, but it feels like they're willing to not redshirt Joe Filardi. So I don't know. Just reading the tea leaves, I'm not convinced he'll be back either.
I think Filardi is starting. So you said the percent chance that Luke Carney starts. I think the percent chance that Filardi starts is greater than 50%. I think it's like 60 or 70%. I don't think Ricky's playing against BC, but
I don't either. I don't think Carney is either.
So it's Filardi the whole game?
Yeah, barring injury. That's why I'm at 5%.
I don't know. 15% is what I was thinking for Luke Carney starting against BC.
Who's starting the last game?
I think Ricky Collins is still in the conversation. I'm kind of surprised you guys are saying 0. I mean, that's a game they can win, and I believe Ricky Collins gives them the best chance to win of the 3 quarterbacks.
I believe Ricky Collins gives them the best chance to win as well. I think that, okay. Is it 0%? It's not. You're right. It's not 0%. I think Filardi is, in my opinion, the heavy favorite to start that game.
Correct.
All right. What else you got, Tim?
Speaking of coaches, percentage chance Jeff Nixon is the offensive coordinator at Syracuse. I think when we did this leading into the Pittsburgh game, we were all below 50% on this, right?
Yeah, this is a tough one.
Yeah.
I'm still at 50. Can I go back to that
50.
first question?
Fun. I think it's less than 50.
Is that because someone else hires him away? Is that because you think he's soured on the idea of Syracuse?
I thought you were going to say that like he's not the right fit for this job. I think he's still the right fit for this job, but I think he probably. Well, man, that's a tough question.
Yeah,
because does he stay one more year, have a great year with Steve Angeli, and then go somewhere else? I'll put it at 50-50. I know it's a cop out. I'm gonna do what Paulie said. I'll say 50-50.
Are you saying my answer was a cop out?
A little bit.
I'll say 60%.
Low key jerk right there. All right.
Another tough one here. Percentage chance Elijah Robinson is the defensive coordinator at Syracuse next year. This was a classic case of the defensive stats against Miami don't show that they are making some progress there.
It's been that way a lot of games since the quarterback injury has happened where the first third of the game, they're fine, and then they just every time it's 3 or out or a turnover, and you're on the field the whole game.
I think this is pretty high.
I'd say 75.
Yeah, I'm going to say 75 as well. That's exactly where I was going.
I'll go 80% because that's what came to mind for me. Percentage chance, remember, Paul, you answered this at 40% last time. Percentage chance Syracuse football makes the college football playoff next year. This blew our mind that you were at 40%.
I'm way below that now. I think,
really?
Fran Brown can't coach. I'm going to go 20%.
That's still high.
Yeah.
Man.
Angeli's
Why would you deviate that much, though?
Because it's just been awful.
Yeah. I think I said like 5%.
Yeah, I think I said about 5. I think that's, there's a chance, but I mean, it's hard, and you're not one of the blue bloods, so it's harder when you're not one of the blue bloods. So
in the ACC,
in the ACC, yeah. So I think it's got to be a low number, but there's a chance.
All right, what about, this is kind of maybe the barometer of, is this a successful season next year? Percentage chance Syracuse football wins 8 or more games next year. Does seem like, by the way, Notre Dame, their blog is reporting that Notre Dame might remove the Syracuse game next year. So there could be some scheduling changes. We already know one game has to be removed.
That is so weak for Syracuse fans to not get Notre Dame in the Dome.
Yeah.
So the non-conference, for those who aren't aware, New Hampshire, Toledo, at UConn, and then at the moment, home against Notre Dame.
Is Toledo home?
Toledo's home. 3 home games and a road game.
But we know one of those isn't happening. That's already confirmed because of the 9 conference games
that's
now.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes. So, good point. So
one change is definitely coming. And then if you lose Notre Dame, you have to add a power conference or Notre Dame.
Power 4 conference, right? Yeah. That's right. We don't truly know the schedule yet. In terms of the ACC, home games against Clemson, SMU, Louisville, Cal. Away games, BC, Pitt, North Carolina, Virginia. So 8 or more, you're saying? Percent chance. I think it's higher than 50-50. I will say 65% chance they win more than 8 games. 8 or more.
45% came to mind for me. I think 8 wins is just tough. But I do think Steve Angeli will be good, and it's good to know he's already back.
Let me tell you this about Syracuse football. I don't know why I got into this, but the time of possession for Syracuse the last 3 games has been awful. It's 27. They're 90th overall at 29, but if you go last 3 games, they are bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, they can't move the ball.
Possession.
Yeah,
and that's why the defense is struggling.
Yeah, look at the total yards. We were talking about this in the office last night, that the total yards from the beginning of the season to, since Steve Angeli's been out, it's like an average of 200 yards per game. It's an average. It's crazy. A variation of those questions, Paulie, that we didn't get to. We talked about win total with the football team and what the future looks like. What's the percent chance that next year's team, 2026, year 3 under Fran Brown, is better than year 1, 2024 under Fran Brown?
I tend to think it's higher than most people. I'll put it about 15-20%. Aronde Gadsden's not walking through that door. The Quinn Allen, those guys were all seniors, and there's not going to be right now without the portal seniors on that team.
Right.
So I'd put it about 15-20%.
And the other thing we got to keep in mind, too, is that, Steve Angeli, while he looked like he might be trending toward becoming Kyle McCord and what Kyle McCord did for that team, he is coming off a very serious injury in an Achilles. You don't know how ready he's going to be. It sounds like they expect him to be ready to go in time for the season, but Kyle McCord was Kyle McCord. Steve Angeli was great, but a small sample size. So, again, I think we're on the same page. People watching this show, they're going to think that we agree a lot. We actually don't agree a lot, but we happen to agree a lot today on these topics.
Yeah, and the other thing is, the same thing that has bitten every coach at Syracuse was the ability to keep the quarterback healthy and the offensive line, and it got Fran Brown year 2, and it didn't get him in year 1.
Yeah, not only was the quarterback banged up this year, but the offensive line has been banged up, and I think that's why we're seeing the offense look like it does right now.
Steve,
it's been a struggle.
Pick the percentage that this show gets canceled in the first week.
I would say 0.
0?
Yeah.
I'm going 99. Or how about I'm removed from the show and replaced with actual talent?
No. I would put my foot down. You got to be my partner.
Maybe they can't afford
Like it
me.
or not. Like it or not, you got to be my partner. All right, we should mention SU women's basketball back in action tonight at home against Canisius. That'll be a 7 o'clock start. We talk about the men and how they look like a much different team and a much better team than a year ago. The women are right there as well. Off to an impressive start, 2-0 start. They take on Canisius tonight at 7 o'clock. We'll have highlights tonight at 11 on News Channel 9 and then talk about the game again tomorrow on Orange Nation, noon to 2 on ESPN Radio, Syracuse, and on QSportsTalk.com. For Paulie Sibilia, I'm Stephen Fonte. Thank you for watching Orange Nation Overtime. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.